Welcome to God in Movies, where we talk about what God is saying to us through Hollywood today. I'm your host, Seth Dahl, and in this video, the movie we're going to look at is Encanto, which is an amazing movie, has some of the best music I've ever heard. You've probably all seen it. But to talk about this movie and what God's saying, let's go right into the opening scenes.
Your abuelo Pedro and I were forced to flee our home. And though many joined us, hoping to find a new home, we could not escape the dangers. And your abuelo was lost. But in our darkest moments,
As soon as I saw this, we're barely even into the movie. I see a husband and a father giving his life for his bride and his children. So obviously, this is a message to the church. The husband who gave his life for the bride is the opening scenes. And then check out what happens right away.
we were given a miracle. The candle became a magical flame that could never go out. And the miracle grew. And our house came alive to shelter.
So as soon as he gives his life, they're given a magical flame called the miracle that provides protection to them and a house. So the first thing I think this is saying is we've got to make sure we remember as the church that the house came from the flame, not the flame from the house. And as the movie goes on and those little children grow up, we start to see exactly which church this message is for. Here it is.
When my children came of age, the miracle blessed each with a magic gift to help us. And when their children came of age,
They got magic too.
that's right. And together, our family's gifts have made our new home a paradise.
Obviously, the kids get gifts in the home. Supernatural gifts. Magic, it's called, but it's supernatural gifts. So I don't think this is necessarily just a message to the entire church. I think this has a message to the charismatic church, the church that believes in gifts, the church that believes in the fire that gives gifts to kids to then serve the community with. That's who this message is for. And the next child who's going to receive a gift is Antonio. And he goes up, he touches the doorknob, his room comes alive, the animals show up, and he gets his gift that he's going to use to serve the community and bless his family. But then what happens is Mirabel, the girl who didn't get a gift last time when it was her turn, she feels separated from the family, like she's not really a part of it. And so she's not there when they're all celebrating. But what happens is she starts to discover something about the house. Here's that scene. What a crazy message this is telling us. She's discovering that the house is falling apart. The house is cracking into pieces and the fire is starting to go out. And so she goes on this journey to try to figure out what's causing it. But her grandma, Abuela, does not believe her. She tries to go tell her. She tries to explain what's happening. But her grandma just doesn't believe her. She just wants to keep on going as if everything is fine.
The house is in danger! The tiles were falling and there were cracks everywhere.
Show me.
tracks were there. Abuela, I promise that's enough.
There is nothing wrong with La Casa Madrigal. The magic is strong. And so are the drinks. Please, music.
So Abuela just wants to keep going as if everything's okay. We do learn a little bit later in the movie that she knows as well that things aren't okay. And so Mirabel goes on this journey. She's got to figure out, why is the flame going out? Why is the house coming apart? And us as a charismatic church, we'd be wise to pay attention to this and realize a lot of our houses are falling apart and a lot of our flames are going out. And what's interesting to me is Jesus said, a smoldering wick, he will not put out. So something else is causing it. It's not God. He's not putting it out. He's trying to fan it and get it back, just like Mirabel is. What's causing the gifts to go away? In one scene, we see that Louisa felt totally weak when this was taking place. Her strength has vanished from her life as this happens. So we know, though, that the Bible says his gifts and his calling are without repentance. So God's not putting out the flame and God's not removing the gifts. It's got to be something else. And that's what we're about to find out. That's what we're about to see in Mirabel's journey, is what our journey as the charismatic church should be as well.
So good for the Encanto.
Rosita, can you turn off the sand? I need to do this. For you, for Abuela, maybe for me. Find the vision. Save the vision.
So here she is. She's on her journey. She's trying to figure out what's going on. She goes into Bruno's house, which I think, obviously, he's the seer prophet of the family, and he's disappeared from the house because he wasn't honored. And so he didn't actually leave the house. She finds out he's in the back walls, patching everything up, trying to keep it together. But this is another clear message to us as a charismatic church, is that we should probably make sure we're valuing the prophets, that the prophets don't have to hide from us and try to keep alive what we're almost allowing to die, that he's trying to patch up what we're allowing to break. We've got to make sure we're valuing the prophet. And that's what she's going to do, is find out what he saw, what he knew, so that she can help solve this. So now she's found his vision. She found out what he saw, and she's looking at it, and she discovers that she has a part to play in this, that somehow is about her. And then we go into one of the best songs in the movie. All the songs are great, but one of the best ones, we don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about the prophet because of what he saw, because of what he tried to warn us of. So after the song, they want to just keep pretending as if everything's okay and no one has to know what's actually taking place. They're going to avoid the problem altogether and pretend like everything is fine. Unfortunately, they couldn't hide it for long, and it gets exposed that she's found the vision, and now she knows that she's a part of this. Now everyone knows that something is going really, really wrong. And so Mirabel finds Bruno in the back of the house, inside the walls, and talks to him about it. And he says, "I wish I could see more." And here's what she tells him.
That's all I know. Good luck. I wish I could have seen more.
Yeah. Yeah. You wish you could have seen more, so see more. Have another vision!
No, see, I don't do visions anymore.
But you could.
The reason he's hiding is because his gift was misunderstood, and that's why he's in the back of the house. That's why nobody talks about him. But what she's doing here is she's saying, hey, You wish you could have seen more, so see more. Have another vision. Keep looking. Go look again. This is a powerful picture to us of how we're supposed to handle the prophetic and the prophets, is to go, you know what? We don't want to just look at the problems. We don't want to just see what's wrong. We want to keep looking until we know what the solutions are, until we know what we're supposed to do about the problems. That's what she's pulling out of him here. That's what she's trying to do with the prophet that's been hiding in the house, is to say, we don't want to just know the problems. We want to know the solutions. So he ends up going into another vision, looking into the future, and he sees that Mirabel and her sister need to reconcile. This is a powerful picture that family needs to reconcile. We need to make sure our relationships are in a good place. We need to make sure we've made amends and asked forgiveness where we've needed to ask forgiveness and needed to reconcile with people, needed to restore relationship with people. That's what his next vision shows her. And that's what she goes to do, is to try to reconcile with her sister, Isabel. And that's where something amazing happens that shows us the message that we all need to know right now.
Isa, I feel like you're upset. And you know what cures being upset? A warm embrace.
Get out. Everything was perfect. Abuela was happy.
She's trying to force the reconciliation to fix what's wrong, but not realizing that you don't fix it with forced reconciliation. You can't fix it without what's about to happen with Isabel. For the first time, she's about to be honest, and something beautiful happens.
I've been stuck being perfect my whole entire life. And literally, the only thing you have ever done for me is mess things up.
Nothing is messed up. You can still marry that big dumb hunk.
I never wanted to marry him. I was doing it for the family.
Oh my gosh. Isa, that is a very serious confession. Okay, get over here. Bring it in.
For the first time, she's been honest, and now she creates a cactus instead of roses. From this point on, they go into this song and they start to sing, and Isabella just creates all these things she's never created before. One of the lines she sings in the song is, I'm tired of something pretty. I want something true. So finally, they're discovering how important honesty is, how important it is to not perform, to not put on a show, to not just use your gifts to do pretty stuff, but use your gifts to do real, true things. That's what we're seeing here. But not everyone's happy with that. Abuela's not happy with that. And as soon as Isabel and Mirabel are really, really honest, Abuela comes in and finds them. And here's what she does.
Bruno left because of you. Luisa's losing her powers. Isabella's out of control because of you.
I will never be good enough for you. No matter how hard any of us tries. Luisa will never be strong enough. Isabella won't be perfect enough. Bruno left our family because you only saw the worst in him.
Bruno didn't care about this family.
He loves this family. I love this family. We all love this family. You're the one that doesn't care. You're the one breaking our heart.
Don't you
The miracle is dying because of you.
From this point on, the house totally crumbles and comes apart. Mirabel has called it out that Abuela has created a culture of performance that only values gifts and not the actual person. Only values performance, only values what can be done, not the honesty, not the reality of the people that are in the family. And from this point, everything comes apart. The fire goes completely out. The house comes crashing down. It's a powerful picture of what's happened to a lot of churches not too long ago. There's a lot of churches that are completely gone and will never come back. But in this movie, what I see next is great hope. Up until this point, it's been quite scary. Like, oh my goodness, the fire's going out. The house is falling apart. There's performance. We only value gifts, not people. But then this hope comes in. because the house actually gets rebuilt when the old generation and the younger generation come back together and they start valuing the people for who they are, not just what they can do. What an amazing scene we have here, that Mirabel, the only kid who didn't seem to have a gift, didn't get a gift initially, is now seen and valued for who she is, that she was the gift. And I think it's awesome that she gets the knob, not just to a room, she gets a knob to the entire house, to rebuild and restore the house to what it was supposed to be. What's really cool about this is she didn't have a gift like everyone else. She had commitment and love for her family, no matter what they were going through. She wasn't going to give up on them. She wasn't going to quit. And even though she wasn't expressing a gift like the rest of the family, she was the gift, that she wouldn't give up on them no matter what was taking place. So this movie is such a wake-up call / injection of hope for the charismatic church. We as the church need to make sure we're not just valuing what people can do, or we may end up trying to kill what they can do. We don't want to value performance over authenticity. Otherwise, we may be the ones allowing the fire that should never go out to begin to go out. But at the same time, the hope that I see God putting in this movie is that when we value those things, the house will be stronger than ever, the flame will burn brighter than ever, and the family will step into true health, who it was always designed to be. That's the message in this movie for the church, the charismatic church. That's the hope in this movie, that great things lie ahead for us, stronger than ever, hotter than ever, when we get a couple things right. And that's our movie Encanto, in God and Movies. Make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the movies where we talk about what God is saying to us through Hollywood today. I'm Seth Dahl, and this is God and Movies.